What is up, guys? Pulse Panda here. Today is my 9th episode of StarCraft as a noob. Now, I've been kind of bouncing around with ideas on how I wanted this series to continue, and I figured that an important topic is how to practice. A lot of people don't know how to practice. This is extremely relevant to bronze, silver, golds, and a lot of platinums. If you are higher, this could benefit you too. Maybe you're just naturally diamond, but you want to get to grandmaster. Well, how do you get to grandmaster, and how do you practice? But before I start, I do want to mention a couple of things. Since my average viewer retention is not the entire length of the video, I need to put them in the beginning. So first off, if you guys are hitting that upvote on Reddit, if you guys are coming from Reddit with the link I post, yay to you guys. Thank you for those upvotes. However, if you're taking the time to upvote, that is not actually helping my video get views. If you want to take the time and instead of that, hit the like button on the video, that'll actually get more views through YouTube. And that would be greatly appreciated. It'll help the channel grow. Second, if you have any questions, bring them up in the comments below. That is a sure way to get them answered. I have a 100% comment reply rate, and I absolutely love the questions and feedback. They really make my day. I am also looking for StarCraft 2 collaborators. If you guys are interested in making some videos with me, or if you would like some, assistance or anything like that, be sure to leave it in the comments below or shoot me an email found on my website at pulsepanda.com. Alright, now with all that good stuff out of the way, it's time to move on to the important part of the video, the core. Why is practicing important? How do you practice? How do you go about doing it? What is too much practice? And all of those questions. Now, these are all legitimate questions, and when I started playing, I've also had an issue with practicing, so I kind of wanted to expand on that, help out a lot more people, because it is definitely a serious thing. So why is playing with a purpose to practice important, as opposed to just playing the game? Now, I should also preface this with just playing the game isn't bad. It is good to just play the game, but playing with a purpose to practice is really the guaranteed way to get better. So why do you want to do that? Well, let me give you an example. A football player can't just casually play football with a couple friends and expect to get to the NFL. He has to play his best, analyze his play, improve his weak points, and get better at the game. The same thing goes for StarCraft or any other competitive game. You can't just hop on and play some ladder and expect to hit GM anytime soon. But if you dedicate your play to improving a single aspect of your game every time, you'll get better much quicker. It also needs to be highlighted, however, that you need to have fun too. Otherwise, what's the point of playing a video game, So, while improving your gameplay is important, it's also important to play your strength. If you're really good at macro, but you're really bad at microing units, play your macro game. Don't play a Hellion expand, because you gotta be microing those Hellions to make them worth your time. Instead, do a CC first, or get a single Marine or double Marine expand. Play to your strengths. Don't try and do something that you think is overpowered, but you can't necessarily pull off. The video I have playing in the background here is actually the perfect example of this. In this replay that I took from a gentleman on YouTube by the name Edward Burton, and he graciously allowed me to use his replay, and I'll have the link to this in the description below. In this video, as you can see, he went with a Reaper Fast Expand versus Zerg. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not going to touch on any of the build order or the mistakes that he makes. I just wanted to touch on one very important part of this, which is the way he handles microing. Now, as you can tell, he wasn't really into the whole microing of the Reaper. It didn't matter as much to him because he's more of a macro player. And as the game progresses, you'll be able to see that he, goes on to win the game, which really worked out for him because he didn't macro, or because he didn't micro. If he had taken the time to micro the Reaper that he lost, he wouldn't have the base infrastructure to be able to follow up later on and win the game. Going off of that, a common pitfall of almost every single player that I've watched play, new player or veteran, doesn't matter, the cap to this I've found is around Diamond League, is microing too much. Watching several replays, videos, streams, people playing IRL, doesn't matter. They get way into microing their units, such as Reaper scouting. I watch a specific player play Reaper Fast Expand, and he'll be microing his Reaper around the enemy's base a ton, and he doesn't lose the Reaper, but he stops microing and he has 2,000 minerals and nothing in his base. And he ends up losing the game because of that, because scouting for him is prioritized over macro. And that's a really big problem. You cannot do that and expect to win. So what does this mean for you? It means that if you have to let your Reaper die to be able to build your command center, or to be able to build anything else on time, you need to let your Reaper die. You will regret not letting your Reaper die. And that's just facts of life. It's just how it goes. If you're not managing your base, if you're not macroing your game, you can't win with that one Reaper. If it dies, it's not the end of the world. Alright, so now how do I do each day of gameplay when I want to be practicing? So when I start up the game, I just go and do a single warm-up game versus AI, easy, don't make it challenging. I'm just warming up for each build order I plan to use that day. So for example, currently I only use one build order per matchup because it doesn't really matter that much. And so when I do that build order, I just practice it once. If I don't feel comfortable after that game, if I don't feel refreshed, I play another one with that build order. What this accomplishes is it kind of implants it into your mind further, gets it more habitual, as opposed to having to think about it while you do it. And I do this with Harry's build order mod that I spotlighted earlier in the series, and that allows me to just warm up without having to worry about restarting each game and whatnot. Then, after I get that done, I watch about 2 to 3 replays of my previous gaming session. And I try and find ones that I lost, and I pick out one thing that I did wrong in all 3 of those videos. So maybe in all 3 of those videos I missed SCVs between 10 and 11 minutes, or I got supply blocked at 43 resources or something. I take what I did wrong, and I make it my goal for the next 5 games to focus on that. Now, this doesn't mean I have to win those 5 games. For example, if I want to not get supply blocked at the 25-minute mark like I do in all of the replays I watched, and I don't get supply blocked, but I lose the game, I won. Because I accomplished what I wanted to do. I got better. I overcame that pitfall, and it will help me win it in more games in the future, because I will start naturally building my supply depot earlier. Pick something like that and do that. Now, I then, after I pick out my goal for the day, or for the 5 games at least, I go into ladder and I play those 5 games. I just play them out. I don't think about them. I just play them. Afterwards, I analyze those games. I can go over the replays. I can just think about them. If you want to go over the replays, there's nothing wrong with that, but honestly, they're so fresh in your mind, you should be able to just think about it. And think about what you did wrong. Why did you lose some of the games? Why did you win? What were you doing well? What is something you might want to change about your game to capitalize on the parts you did well? Are you having fun? Do you want to keep playing? If you want to keep playing, awesome, but you should pick a different goal. So if you successfully unsupply blocked at 45 minutes or 45 supply or whatever, doesn't matter. If you successfully accomplished your goal, pick a new goal. If you haven't, you should keep working on it until you get it down 3 games in a row. So what do you do if you start running up into matchup issues? For example, if you lose every game in a day to Protoss. Well, there's a couple of approaches to this. Personally, my favorite is uploading the replays that you're winning and that you're losing. So if you never lose against or win against Protoss, upload a replay from playing against Zerg and analyze that replay against one of your Protoss replays and upload them to GG Tracker and SC2 replay stats and analyze the game. Those websites give you plenty of statistics on each game and show you where your weak points are. For example, maybe you're not spending enough when you're fighting the Protoss. Maybe you're spending at a silver level, but when you're playing against Zerg, you're spending at a diamond level. Well, that would be the reason you're losing 9 times out of 10. So then you have to go through the replays and figure out, why am I not spending? Maybe I'm not comfortable with the build order. Maybe I need to practice it more. Maybe it's just not my style. Maybe I need to try a different build order. Think about that. Now, if you're losing against a specific build that the Protoss is doing, you can actually, there's certain groups, and I want to start one myself, but I haven't gotten the time to do that yet, there's certain groups that you can join that actually have players that'll help you. So let's say that you keep losing against a Blink Stalker all-in. Well, if you don't have a friend that can play Protoss, you just join up one of these groups. One of them is Adopt a Noob, and you can just be like, hey, I would like a practice partner for a Blink Stalker all-in. And there's two benefits to this. One, the player you're playing with to help you is getting better at the Blink Stalker all-in, and you're getting better at defending it. Now, I would recommend playing games just repeatedly until you can beat a Blink Stalker all-in 2 games in a row, and then you should be at least pretty decent and go back into ladder and see what happens. Now, in my previous video, it can be obviously demoralizing to just lose several games to the same thing, such as a Blink Stalker or a Baneling Rush or something. But just practice against those, and you'll get to the point where you're comfortable enough to just be able to beat them. And that is, it's a huge step to improving your gameplay. If you're losing to specific races and builds, you're just not going to be at the level you want to be at. Otherwise, I mean, if you try that and nothing's working, asking the community to look over a couple of your replays and see what you're doing wrong is never a bad way to go. I've tried this a few times. I've gone onto the subreddit for all things Terran, and I had an issue facing against Terran that goes with a bunch of siege tanks and just sieges up my base. So I uploaded a few replays, posted them on there, and I got some great feedback. That is a fantastic resource to use. I also want to mention that I am more than willing to analyze your guys' replays. If you want, just go ahead and shoot them to my email, and I'll put the email address in the description below, and I will definitely look over those replays, write up a response. I'm thinking I want to do a sub-series on something like Matchmaking Academy, similar to what the War Owl does, except for StarCraft and, you know, my version of it. I would absolutely love to do that, but I need your guys' replays. So if you're having issues with something, don't be afraid to shoot me an email with the replay or replays, and I'll look over them. I'll give you a pretty detailed write-up, and I'll send it back to you. And if you guys do want to see something such as the replay analysis sub-series, that would be fantastic. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And just leave your ideas in the comments below. Yes, no, maybe, you know, all that good stuff. Otherwise, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe, share with your friends. I absolutely want this channel to grow. I want to make more stuff for you guys, but it's kind of hard to justify spending all of my time to a YouTube channel that only has 60 subs. So be sure to share with your friends. Also, if you're subscribing to my channel, be sure to follow me on Twitter. That is where I put all my stuff. And if you follow me on Twitter, it'll make it way easier for my channel to grow, and a lot more people will see my videos. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, complaints, or anything along those lines, be sure to leave them in the comments below. As I said earlier, I have a 100% comment reply rate, and I'm really proud of that. And I absolutely love the comments. I love replying to those things. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day.